Hello, my friends, and good morning. This is Marta from Drop of Sunshine, and today I am coming back after a very long break. As you noticed on my previous video, I've just joined the design team for the beautiful and amazing company Craft O'Clock, and I have this absolutely amazing pleasure to work with their papers. I was just making a project for them, which I'm not gonna show you now. It will be released on their page shortly, so I'll leave you a link and you could go there, sign up, subscribe to their channel, and you could see that tutorial I've prepared for them. But I had some leftover papers and I've decided I've been busy doing the cards for others and catching up with the orders and rest that I barely had any time for myself. Today I woke up super early and my boys are sleeping, so this is a perfect time. I've decided I will make something for myself for a change. I just quickly walk you through. This is the gorgeous paper pad. It's 8 by 8 inches size, and these papers are amazing. They're absolutely beautiful. You got 3 of each design in a paper pack. The Craft O'Clock, each of their collection is they have the papers in 3 different sizes: 6 by 6, 8 by 8, and 12 by 12. Plus, there's additional cutout elements. I already cut another. This is from different collection, this steampunk team. However, I just wanted to show you quickly how many elements it's on each piece of paper. These die cut elements, they just brilliant. They just do perfect job, and everything according with everything together, the paper pad plus this die cut elements and all sentiments, because they usually issue sentiments as well for each collection. Everything is matching perfectly. I have this set of 4 canvas. And yes, we're gonna be making a Canva project. If you know me long enough, you do know that beside making a card, I also love mixed media project. It's just I happen that I don't have that much time lately, so because I'm doing something for myself, I've decided I will be doing a canvas today. I want to do something lifting and motivating for myself, and something which I could really post on my Mindful Monday series. Is just, it's not a Monday, but to be honest, every day is good. If you want to lift yourself and do something motivated, it does not have to be Monday, it could be any day of the week. I'm using a PVA glue to attach my piece of paper. This is gonna be my background, and I will be using another piece of darker paper from the same collection on top of that, but I want to glue this one first because I will have this peeking through from the other bit. And here I'm having the second piece of the design paper. This time I'm using this lovely like a wooden board with the settled design of the clock peeking through the background. And what I did, I actually cut it through my guillotine, and this design has those wooden boards exact line. They're like around 1 inch size, and I just cut accordingly to the pattern. And there was also additional little strip on the side, but I'm not gonna use it because I want to keep my papers just like 1 or 2 millimeters apart from each other, so that will create me a lovely design. The second I cut the paper, I decided I wanted to use some modeling paste as well. And at first I was a wee bit like, oh, why did I cut it, and now I have to try to keep it together. But to be honest, I'm quite happy I actually did that, because when you add the modeling paste or some sort of a texturing paste, and then you're trying to cut it some paper on your gelatin, you can sometimes destroy the pattern. So I'm quite happy I actually did that. It's not hard to put it all together with the help of a masking tape, as I did here, and that way I'm sure that once I add the texturing paste, I don't have to be worried that I will be cutting it and something will like fall off or things like that. The product I'm using here, this is just amazing granite paste from the Cosmic Shimmer, which I won some time ago, and to be honest, I didn't know this product exists until I ordered it, and this is amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favorite pastes. It's got tons of different particles, and once it's dry, it leaves you that stone like almost granite effect. I'm also using some modeling paste in a golden sparkly, like it's pearly color gold from the Viva Decor. I really like this paste, and I quite often use it on my other projects, like even on the cards, because I really like when I'm creating my cards. You know me, I love using some texturing paste or like embellishment mousse, things like that. So I'm also using for my today project, I'm using the journaling cards, which was also included in the collection, and I've chosen 3 of them, and one of them is this lovely like a vintagey look girl photograph, and the other 2 is just like a smaller scale papers. So I really like them all, and I've decided to embellish them. I had a little break in the recording, and I didn't realize that, but my camera just stopped because it was full memory, of course. Oh, I think I'm just needing a new phone, or actually a camera. But anyway, what I did so far, I just add the modeling paste to the side of my canvas. I just, nothing fancy, I just smeared the all 4 sides just to give it some texture, and then I had a couple of metal embellishments, and I just paint them with the black gesso. This is all I did, nothing really difficult. So let's get back to the canvas. I have those strips, they are nice and dry now. And what I'm planning to do, I'm not sure why is my camera changing the color. I'm still on the same lighting, and it's been keep skipping from a bright like cold tone to a yellowish tone, but I hope you don't mind that. Anyway, I'm using the embossing pad and a little bit of the embossing ink to add some gold embossing powder, and this is really chalky embossing powder. I'm not quite sure, but I think this powder comes from this ultra thick embossing enamel collection from Suze Weinberg. I have this set. I received it from the lovely crafty lady who is downsizing her craft room, and she gave me this embossing melting pot, which is like a super cool machine to create the embellishments from the embossing powder. And she gave me a couple jars with this different type of chunky embossing powders, and there was no labels on them. However, the one she gave me with the label, it was exactly the same texture, and judging by the look, it's this ultra thick embossing enamel. I am just adding this embossing powder to all 4 sides of those strips. I'm not doing it very clean. I'm not using any like a baby powder to take a static off. I just want this rough gold edge, not very like clean, more like kinda distressed look, and this is what I'm going after. And once it's done, I will repeat it with all my strips. As you can see, I've already did majority of them, and then is just the last one left. So I'm smearing the pad. This pad is barely alive, as you can tell. It's very well used, but I keep the clean pad for stamping, and if I'll do some mixed media projects or things like that, when I know that my pad can get dirty or there's some like a glitter bits and things like that, I'm always using this old one. I am repeating the same steps with my sentiments and this lovely photo, which will be my focal point. And if it comes for a sentiment, I have to tell you this. I've chose two which really, really touch my heart, and I think this Canva, it's kinda like very, very important work, which will be hanged in the center of my motivating wall, which is right behind me. So whenever I'm doing some die cutting, I could have a look, and there's all those like beautiful pieces I've created so far, and they all have this something important message for me. And it's the same with this one. The sentiments I chosen: trust yourself and shine on. I've chose them because it's time for me to start trusting myself, because for a very, very, very long I was doubting myself, like I was doing something, but then I was like, oh, I don't know if it's nice, if it's good, if it's gonna be liked, by others. And I never ever had this, self-trusting myself. I was always like waiting till someone will approve it. And this time, for a very, very first time in my life, I've joined the design team, and this is something which really, really, changed my life. It's such an amazing opportunity. I feel so blessed and grateful that I was given a chance to work side by side with many, such a talented artists and creators. And I'm gonna be doing 150% or 200% or 1,000% of myself to give it, to make sure I will, well use this opportunity to take every single chance to learn something and to create. And this is why I chose the sentiment says trust yourself, that I will, start feeling as shy if it comes for my art, and just to be more trusty in what I'm doing. Because to be honest, I feel such a I don't even know how to explain that, I'm sorry. But it's just I feel like I am making this huge step, and I am just elevating to a next level on my crafty journey. And so I just need to feel my guts a little bit more, trust them, and and shine on, because I want to shine a little bit. I know, but it's just more in a kind of that I have this opportunity to show myself, to show my artwork to the world, and now to share it with the bigger audience. So this is why I'm just making the Canva for myself today, so I could have a look on it. Every day I'm coming to my studio and I'm sitting down, I could look and say to myself, okay, Marta, this is your time. You've been working hard for it. So now just trust yourself a little bit, and go get it, girl. So this is the meaning behind the Canva I'm making today. But enough about me, let's go back to my project. I'm using this chipboard. I think this one comes from the company called Scrapiniets, and I'm using a little bit of the vintage photo ink and rusty hench. This is two mini distress inks I chosen for this project because they perfectly color match. And I'm also going over the edges of this die cut elements, same as the leaves I have prepared for this project. I want to the leaves are perfect color, same with the die cut elements as well, but I just want to get rid of this white edge and just give them a little bit, everything will be more bound together once I use the ink. I am tearing my journaling card a little bit, and I'm trying to make sure that the notches are just a teeny tiny bit colored as well, so there's no white paper coming through, and it all looks nice and distressed. And now it will be time to start attaching my strips. So what I'm gonna be doing, I will use the double-sided foam tape, and I think the foam roll I have, it's like 2 millimeters thick. So I am just gluing a one strip on the middle side of this underneath this panels I created, and I'm just gonna be gluing them side by side on my canvas, leaving just teeny tiny spaces in between them. I am adding a little bit of the hot glue just to help secure my strips so they're not going anywhere, and I'm actually gonna be using just the hot glue for my entire work. I would normally use the medium gel for attaching all the embellishments and things like that, but first of all, I don't have it. Well, I actually have it, but it's half dry because I didn't lock my container properly, and oh, I need to order another one. Besides, second of all, the canvas is just made for myself, so I could use the hot glue gun instead of a medium gel. The difference between them is actually the hot glue, it's bonding everything instantly, while you have to wait for a medium gel. And I kind of like it sometimes, but the medium gel gives you the more chance to move things around if you decide to change your mind. Plus, when it's dry, so it's sticking for good, because hot glue gun, sometimes when you use it on your projects, sometimes the hot glue could be, especially for like a metal embellishments and like different heavy stuff, it could not hold properly, and with the time the things could fall off. But because I'm doing it for myself, I'm actually on a rush as always, because I want to make sure I'm finish my project before my son will wake up. And so yeah, so I'm just gonna be attaching the everything with the help of a hot glue. I'm having two waxes, and they both coming from the Cosmic Shimmer as well, and they are, let me tell you this, no, sorry, I'm lying, this is Creative Expression range, but they're both metallic gilding wax, and one of them is called cast bronze, which I am using on all of my metal like bronze embellishments. And then the other one is enchanted gold, and this one I will add a little bit to my chipboard piece. Now it's time to assembling my composition. One thing I want to point you out, that when I was adding my modeling paste, I already kind of knew in my head that how I want those journaling cards to lay on this middle piece. So when I was using the stencil and adding this texture paste, I made sure that both my cards were tilted, so now when they are attached to the canvas, there is some kind of a continuation in the pattern. So this modeling paste, this scripture on the card, it's not tilted, but it goes as a straight line, and it's continuous pattern more or less with the rest of the canvas. And I'm gonna be adding this lovely girl on the right on the center, and then I have this little like a nature gifts composition to the side, and this is all those lovely little pieces I've bring them to my house from our walks. We do have the little woodlands right beside our house, and quite often we go there for a walk, so I just love it. And every time I'm taking my son for a walk, I'm just coming back with some goodies. I am just checking where would I like to have my sentiments so I could plan my composition. I am trying to keep a balance between the metal embellishments and all those die cut pieces I have from the collection. Plus, I will be adding a little bit of this wild grass and the poppy heads and a little bit of the moss to my composition as well. So once I'm happy with everything, I am just gluing it with the hot glue gun as I mentioned it before, and it's just a matter of keeping balance in everything and just adding. And I'm quite bad with that because usually I'm just checking everything 10 times and just moving it from side to side, trying to decide on the best possible layout. However, today I must to tell you I was really happy with the result, and I was just amazed how quickly I've managed to complete my work, having all those matching elements from the collection. It was just amazing to work on it, and I'm probably gonna be making more of these and different types, not only like a vintage look, because the craft o'clock, they also have all sorts of collection you can imagine. There is some romantic one, shabby chic, there is some like critters with cute little like monsters, or like a sweet baby theme, or oh my gosh, it's just not, the video is not long enough to list everything. I'm telling you, their papers are just the best papers ever, and I'm just amazed. And not only by this range, the card making range, but they also have the mixed media one, which I'm hoping to put my hands on them as well, because I truly love them, and I'm absolutely over the moon. I'm on a cloud nine, as you can tell by everything you're hearing. And looking on my previous video, you probably noticed that it was so hard for me to not jump and scream when I was just revealing and showing you all the beautiful papers I received from them on my welcoming pack. I must tell you one story about these poppy heads. They were growing on our neighbor's garden. Well, not actually in his garden. It was outside the fence. It was on a pavement sites, like but I was passing them 10 times, like over 2 weeks. I was just looking on them and looking on them, but I was feeling shy that I didn't want to like steal something from someone else's property, even that it was growing outside of it. And one day I was passing by, I took my son for a walk, and once we were approaching and I was just looking on them, and I was like, one is gone. Oh my gosh, it's just only one left. Oh, why I didn't grab them when I had a chance. But once we came closer, I actually noticed that one of those stems, it was just breaking half, and this poppy head was just like hanging down. So that's why I couldn't see it at first. So once we came closer, I was like, okay, today it's the day. I'm just taking it. I really love it, and I need to have it. So if my neighbor will spot me and give me a round, I will just like bake him a nice cake or something as apology. But I don't think he noticed, because it was just like hiding in between some other like bushes, so it was slightly sticking out from other plants. So I've just stolen them. But as you know, if you're crafting yourself, you know that if you just spot something nice, or like a seashell or nice stone or a branch or piece of a bark, you just cannot help ourselves. You just have to put your hands on it. And this is my story. I just had to have it. So I was waiting nearly 2 weeks, for grabbing them. And then finally, when I was almost scared that one of them is gone, I was like, okay, today is the day, I'm taking it. And I'm quite happy I did, because they really looks lovely on the composition, and they just fill the page nicely. And this is just a perfect touch I needed. So I hope I will be forgiven for that. but as I say, I don't think he really noticed, and it was quite like outside, like a half a meter from this his like a border fence, and it was in between bushes. So I hope I will be forgiven. Anyway, back to my composition. I'm almost finished to more or less. I'm just trying to fill the a page really, just to try and see to give it a little bit extra interest. I'm adding the moss, and I will be adding some of the leaves as well. I've prepared myself from the this is die cut elements on the top. You can see I will be gluing them in a second. I'm just adding the sentiment as well, just making sure everything is just perfectly aligned and it's the sentiments are straight, and that will be my project for today. From this place onward, I would like to say, as always, thank you so much for being here with me, for watching my tutorials, for your lovely comments and love and support. And it's really your thing. Like, I wouldn't go as far as if not your support, guys, because you really give me a courage, you give me the strength, and for the first time in my life, I actually, believed in myself, and this is a truly blessing for me, honestly, because I know many people, many girls I know when I spoke with, they say that they've been trying to get like a design team call for many chances. They apply and apply and apply, and some of them they are successful, but some of them says like, no, not yet, next time, maybe next time, try next time. And for me, when I apply for the very first time in my life, I apply and I got it straight away. It was just, oh my gosh, I mean, like, really, I feel like really appreciated, and that just gave me such a boost in my confidence, that so this is why I've decided to create that project, to remind myself that I really need to start trusting my skills a little bit more, which I learned not long ago. I'm pretty much sure, for those of you who watched my other video when I was making a birthday card for my mom, when I did that comparison from the work I did now and the one I did 4 years ago, I really noticed that I've made a huge step. Even though I wasn't feel like that, I've made a huge step, and I'm hoping to that now with this design team, I will be having much more opportunities to learn and grow. And thank you so much, everyone. I wish you all a wonderful day, and I'm hoping you all well, and I'm hoping to see you here another time. And if you're new and your first time on my channel, please subscribe, like or comment, and if you feel like and you can also share my work with your friends and family, or whoever you think may like it. I really appreciate that you're helping me to grow my channel. Thank you once again with the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all a wonderful day. Marta.